Welcome, Juliana and Khadija. Of course, you are new members of Global PropTech, and we always make a short video with an introduction who you girls are, because we have two women. That's always good to have women in tech. What do you do at DeltaQ?
I'm CEO since 6 months of DeltaQ, so I have a business background, international background, worked a lot across the globe, and I decided a couple of years ago switch a bit of career and joined the impact investment world, where I supported a lot of scale-ups and startups, social entrepreneurs, basically all companies that want to do also something good for this planet. And that's how I came into contact with DeltaQ and decided, after I saw how much the impact was on CO2 of the built environment in general, decided to step into that. And I thought it was a fantastic combination of innovation and tech and real estate. So yeah.
Yes, because some reports say it's between 30 and 40% of CO2 emissions the buildings have on the built environment. So that's huge. So that's huge impact if you can do a good job in that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
We will dive into that, of course, later. Juliana, what are you doing at DeltaQ?
Yeah, I recently joined DeltaQ as CCO, which is perfectly in line with my background. So I studied economics and languages, and I have 20 years of experience in international sales, business development, and key account management on global level. And I joined DeltaQ exactly for that reason, because I firmly believe in protecting our environment for the future generations and having a direct impact on CO2 emission reduction and energy saving is really what I like about DeltaQ, and the fact that it's such an innovative and dynamic company. So that's the reason why I recently joined the team.
Cool. Yeah, very good. And how were those first 4 weeks? How is it for you to join a team? Well, probably digitally.
It's been interesting, but we've been in this digital world since last year, so kind of getting used to it. Looking forward to meeting everybody face to face. It's been an interesting couple of weeks, learning a lot, and really looking forward to this journey.
Yeah, of course. Well, can you tell me a little bit, what is DeltaQ doing? So maybe Juliana needs to say this or not. She's 4 weeks.
Maybe. I can try. No, DeltaQ, as I explain it to my environment and my family, is a machine learning SaaS technology or solution, really focused on optimizing building control systems. And this is really 24/7 and in real time. And basically, it really increases comfort, reduces energy and CO2 emissions. So that's in a nutshell. So I don't know if Khadija wants to elaborate on that.
Absolutely that. Maybe just the reason also why DeltaQ has been started is really has to do with this impact. Is about how can we help the entire industry to reach this 55% CO2 reductions within 10 years. So that's the reason why, let's say, DeltaQ has started, and this is the solution. And this is why I think, and we'll come back to that, why joining also Global PropTech is so interesting for us.
Yeah. Now, maybe you can tell immediately, why is it so interesting for you to join our ecosystem?
I think that two reasons, basically. It's one is the partnership, because you will not reach those targets or go to CO2 neutral by doing it on your own. DeltaQ will not be the solution for everything. We are part of the solution. We're very good in what we do, but you do need a lot of other people that are very good in what they do, that are really, so that part of partnership, getting to know other companies innovative in their field and try to build things together to bring a better value proposition for the market. That's one of the things that I really love. And the second thing, and that's probably our first discussion we had, was you have this prop tech world that is a very techy world, very technical, etc., with very smart people. You have this real estate world that is not speaking the same language. What I like in what you're doing is trying to build that bridge about this is what we can do, but AI, machine learning, etc., doesn't tell much sometimes to some asset managers, property managers, etc. So how do we build that? How do we make that bridge? That's one of the things where I think we have something in common. That's also what we try to do when talking about our solution. So
yeah,
that's
because I totally agree with you what you say, because I think also sales, like what you are doing, like Juliana, is also telling the story and telling and help people what you really do and what the impact is on the solution that you bring to the table. And if you can do that together with all kind of other PropTech solutions and bring that coalition together and build that really nice package of solutions, yeah, I think that's where the real difference is for real estate professional to also adapt also that technology.
Yeah.
Cool. So DeltaQ, in which countries are you now active?
Well,
Of course, Belgium, the Netherlands.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, overall, we are active in 7 countries, but it's spread over 2 continents. So think of Europe and also Asia. But at the end of the day, being responsible for our commercial organization, I'd love to see it globally. Yeah? And that's ultimately our goal, to offer our solution and see it work on a global scale.
Yeah, can you tell us a little bit of an example of a really nice project where you really been really enthusiastic about how it works, about a building, and what happened in that building?
Well, I can give you an example for the Sodexo building in Brussels is one of the first buildings that we connected to the DeltaQ technology. And I'm very proud to say that we achieved a 45% saving on gas, for example, 23% saving in electricity, and 30% reduction on CO2 emissions. And we say that our technology brings between 10 to 40%, depending on the circumstances, reduction. And those are great numbers to be able to achieve them. And we see those numbers time and time again. Another example is the EY building in Ghent, which is a building that was built in 2018, if I'm not mistaken. And here we achieved a result of 26% reduction in energy, but also CO2 emissions. So I think it really shows that the DeltaQ technology works on existing buildings, but also on newly built. And I think that's great news for the real estate market.
Yeah, and for who is it then the most interesting? Is it for the owner, for the tenant, or for the end user, you and me using the offices? For who is this the most important to get that reduction?
I think basically it has advantages for the different stakeholders. If you're an asset manager, well, basically you make your building smarter. So that's one of the things which increases value for your portfolio. The second thing is that you still keep your tenant happy, because one of the things that the tenant is happy about is that the comfort level is really optimized. So that's definitely something for the tenant. Yeah, the tenant also has the benefit of the just basically the energy bill that is really decreasing. So that's also a nice savings in terms of cost. If you look at the operational parties we work with within a building, they also get this advantage of having less of the manual work they do. So it makes them much more efficient in their work, and it allows them to be busy with other things as we come there, put that kind of smart optimization layer on top of the BMS system, and basically we do that 24/7. So we do replace some part of that job. So that's the advantage there. And if I would look at a property manager, well, they of course are responsible when there are claims, comfort claims, etc. That's one of the things, of course, that is very important for them to keep those tenants happy. And by having such a technology, you reduce the number of claims because you avoid having those kind of, we know that the sun will come at a certain moment, etc. So we don't heat too much then. And so we avoid all these kind of things that makes a building uncomfortable. So we also reduce the claims, and we see that also in the figures. That's also one of the KPI we use. So it depends. I think everyone has an advantage there, but it's a bit different for the different stakeholders.
Yeah, and how is the pandemic being affected? Real estate professionals to really look into these kind of solutions, like you have with DeltaQ.
Yeah.
Do you see a big mindset shift already, or do we need to wait a little bit till the offices are really getting reopened? What do you think?
I don't see anything slowing down, let's say, not at all. It's more the opposite, because what we see is with current customers, for example, the buildings that are connected to DeltaQ, the occupancy, we take into account the occupancy rate. So, of course, the one that are connected to DeltaQ, they basically see that it has a bigger advantage. And we simply see that everyone is busy with it. Now, I don't have like the 10-year experience to see whether it really increased or is it, but the awareness is definitely there. And the good thing is what we saw during the last months is the pandemic. I mean, our solution is we don't need to be there to install anything. It's not hardware. So in that sense, we were able to connect buildings in Japan or in now with the pandemic, just in Belgium or in Germany without being there. So the digital aspect becomes really a strong advantage. So it did not kind of delay anything of what we wanted to do.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, how can we help you the best the next couple of years, I hope? What do you expect from Global PropTech? How can we help you?
Well, from my point of view, I would say that we'd love to be kept in the loop on developments in the real estate market, knowing about interesting events, being able to speak about our technology, really get the message out there in line of CO2 reduction, etc. You know, getting in touch with stakeholders, interesting other SaaS technologies. I'm thinking of, for example, you know, water optimization. So anything in line with innovation regarding commercial buildings is where I would love to see our cooperation, actually. I don't know if you have anything to add, Khadija.
I think where I would like you to see your role is to continue to build that bridge and to make clear that, you know, that it doesn't become kind of two separate words, and they are bridges and they start to become more and more. But I think this is where I think you can help the industry, not only DeltaQ, but helping the entire industry there to continue to bring that awareness. Those solutions do exist. I'm still extremely surprised to see that a lot of the large sometimes companies do not know that this exists, or there's a lot of confusion about, oh, what you do, is it the same than this, or is it the same?
Yeah.
So no, it's actually totally complement. We're not competitor with anyone there. It can definitely be together. It's an and story. What we do is really the predictive control. We look in the future and we basically adapt that, and we actively do that. So it's not a monitoring platform. And I think there's a lot of work to be done on what are the definitions, what is what, because there are a lot of solutions, and I think that translation is not something that we will be able to do on our own, but where we need people like you guys to help to bring that knowledge, basically. I think that would be quite cool.
Well, we have a lot of events coming up for next couple of months, so we will be happy to have you on our side and tell that story and to help the industry to move forward. So thank you very much, Juliana and Khadija, and well, speak to you guys soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.